we're going to talk about how to utilize two of Poshmark's most popular selling promotions for sellers to make sales, closet clear out, and offers to likers. I really believe that you can get the most out of these promotions by using an app called sellerinsight, and in today's video, I'm going to show you why I think that's the case. Stay tuned.
Won't nobody love you the way they should. Won't nobody check up on you, make sure you're good. Won't nobody check those body tremors for your neck.
Hi everyone, my name is Becky Park and I am a part-time reseller on the reselling platform Poshmark. And today I want to talk to you about a tool called sellerinsight that you can use to really level up your Poshmark business for a number of reasons. I do have another video all about sellerinsight and it goes over all of its features, and I will link that video right here. But in today's video, we're going to focus on two kind of newer features that they rolled out with, I'll call it sellerinsight 2.0. And the really exciting thing about sellerinsight 2.0 is that, number one, it is available for both iPhone and Android users. I know that was kind of a sore point for some of you because they were not available on Android before, but they are now. And the second thing that I think is really exciting is that with their 2.0, update rollout, some new features that they've come out with are improving their relisting workflow, which I didn't even know was possible, and coming out with a new offers to likers workflow as well. And those are the two components of the app that we're going to focus on today in this video. And just like in the last one, I'm going to show you through my actual phone screen just how easy it is to use these tools to make more sales on Poshmark. In case you've never heard of sellerinsight, it is an app that you can get on your phone for a monthly fee of $9.99. It's basically like a monthly subscription. And with that $9.99, you get a ton of features, including but not limited to, like I said, the relisting and offers to likers workflow that I'm going to show you here in this video and expand on. But you also get a ton of data and analytics, just a really deep dive into your sales so that you can learn what's working well for you, so that you can figure out how much you're actually making on each sale or how much you're making throughout the year, so that you can identify who your repeat buyers are, where your items are being shipped to. I mean, there are so many really cool features that this app provides, and I personally think that it is well worth the $9.99 a month. I know that there are a lot of different subscription services out there for resellers, and the monthly price tag can get kind of steep. For me though, in my Poshmark business, I really can't imagine living without this. So like I said, I do have the video linked, and also I'll have it down in the description below if you want to learn more about all of sellerinsight's features. But in this video, we are going to focus, like I said, on closet clear out and on offers to likers, and how you can use sellerinsight to help you make more sales with both of those promotions. So first, we'll talk about a brand new feature that sellerinsight added to their app, which is their offers to likers workflow. It works pretty similarly to the relisting workflow. In fact, it's like basically the same thing. But here's a quick demonstration. First, I'm going to show you the bulk offers to likers feature on Poshmark so that we can compare it to sellerinsight's offers to likers workflow. So if you look at the top right corner of my screen, you'll notice there's like a little wrench icon. So we're going to click on that. And then you'll have at the bottom some bulk listing actions. So we're going to go ahead and select make offer to likers. Now I'm not actually going to go through with it, but essentially what you'll do is you will select the offer that you want to make. It's kind of like the ability to put either your whole entire closet or just select items from your closet on sale. Okay, so I'm going to say 10% off. I have to figure out what kind of discounted shipping I want to offer. So let's say I say free shipping. I say apply. So now what it's going to do is it's going to open up any listings in my Poshmark closet that have likes. And not only that, but it will show me in kind of that like beige part at the bottom of each listing, it'll show me what the offer price would turn into once I drop the price by 10% and what my net earnings will end up being, which I do like, especially if you're doing things like free shipping or if you're doing things with discounted shipping. You want to know at the end of the day, how much money am I going to actually make on this, and is it going to turn me a profit, right? So what you do is you just go through, and any item that you want to send that offer out on, you just click on the item, and then at the very bottom you'll see the tile that says submit offer to likers. Now I'm not going to do that right now just because this is just a demonstration, but that being said, now let's take a look at sellerinsight, and we'll look at what that relisting workflow looks like on sellerinsight. What they do is very similar to the relisting workflow. You'll see right on your dashboard this section that says send offer to likers. And you'll see at the very top, there is a little settings icon. So if we click on that, this is where you can decide, look, I only want to see items that have a minimum number of blank number of likes. This is already a pretty cool setting compared to what Poshmark gives you, because with Poshmark, when you go to send offers in bulk, they just show you all listings that have any number of likes. But perhaps you only want to heavily target items that have, let's say, 5 likes or more, or 10 likes or more. And those are items that perhaps you want to go ahead and send particularly deep discounts on. You can't do that in terms of filtering down in Poshmark, but you can on Seller Insight. So let's say I only want to see items that have 5 likes or more. So now what's going to happen is when I go back to my dashboard, it's only going to populate a list of items that has at least 5 likes. I'm going to go ahead and say 1 is fine. And then at the bottom, you'll see it says daily goal. And this is where, Seller Insight is just trying to help you stay accountable to setting goals and meeting those goals. And this is where you say, listen, Seller Insight, I would like to send out a minimum of this many offers to likers on a daily basis. And you can see I said I would like to send out a minimum of 5. So I press save, and it's going to take me back to my dashboard. So now what I do is I look at the listing in front of me that has a good number of likes on it. You can see it's priced at $50. It has 13 likes, and you can see that I have a couple options. I can skip if I don't want to send out offers to likers on this item right now, or I can go ahead and send the offer. So first I'm going to show you what it looks like to send the offer. What it's going to do is it's going to take me to Poshmark, and I just go through the motions on Poshmark the way that I would. I can click on the calculator and I can say, listen, I'd be comfortable with sending out an offer that's 20% off. Apply the offer. I'm going to put in my discounted shipping, apply, submit. Bada bing, bada boom, right? Now what I do is I go back to Seller Insight, and they're going to ask me, did you send the offer to likers in Poshmark? I sure did. So now it takes me back to the dashboard, and it's going to show me the next item that has likes on it. Now for this item, let's say I don't actually want to send an offer, for whatever reason. Perhaps I want to wait for more likes to accumulate on it. Perhaps I'm really uncomfortable going down on the price. So what I can do is I can select skip, and it'll just take me right to the next listing that has likes on it. And if you'll notice, when I press skip, at the bottom on that tile that says skipped, the number went from 3 to 4. Furthermore, what's really cool is if I want to, I can click on that tile that says 4 skipped, and it's going to show me the 4 listings that I have skipped sending out offers to likers on. Why is this important? It's important because perhaps you skipped those listings for a reason, but now you want to revisit, and now you're in a place where you do want to send out offers on those items. And this is where you can see which items you skipped out on when it came to sending offers to likers on in the first place, which I love that feature. On the same token, you can also see which items you did send out offers to likers on. And you can also see which items are coming up if you want to kind of pick and choose which items fit the criteria for the minimum number of likes, or just which, items you particularly want to send offers on. And one of the reasons I love using Seller Insight is because it allows me to send individualized offers depending on the item. On more expensive items, I have the wiggle room to send out offers with free shipping. On certain items, I only want to send out a 10% discount with perhaps the smallest shipping discount. So with the bulk offers to likers on Poshmark, it is great, but it doesn't allow me to send out very specific and detailed offers on each item depending on how long I've had it, depending on its price. I have to kind of do a blanket sale, which sometimes is exactly what I want, but oftentimes I want to send out individualized offers depending on, how long I've had that item, what that item is priced at right now, etc. And this is a really amazing tool that allows you to do that through Seller Insight. Now, the second promotion that Poshmark has fairly often on Fridays and Sundays is closet clear out. Closet clear out is a promotion where if you drop the price of an item that somebody has liked on Poshmark, they have a 6-hour window to buy that item at that price in order to receive discounted shipping from Poshmark. That is if you drop the price of an item to $10 or more, and it has to be at least 10% lower than its lowest historical price. So, if you have an item priced at $100 and you drop the price to $90, that should be fine. But if you've already dropped the price to $90 before and then you raised it back to $100, the only people who will get that notification and email from Poshmark are people who have recently liked your item since the last time you dropped the price. I hope that makes sense. It's kind of a lot. So not too long ago, Poshmark came out with a pretty new cool feature, and it was called copy listing. If you are on eBay, it's very similar to like their relist function or their sell similar function, but essentially what Poshmark allows you to do is when you're in edit mode on any given listing, you can choose to copy that listing, which basically makes a duplicate of the listing that you are currently editing. On top of that, if the item is at least 60 days old or older, then when you copy the listing, that duplicate listing is actually considered in Poshmark's eyes as a brand new listing. And we all know that brand new listings tend to get a lot more attention than old stale listings that have been around for a while on Poshmark. And so it's a really quick way to relist stale listings so that you can get some more eyes on that item and hopefully make the sale. Now, while I love this copy listing feature on Poshmark, in my opinion, there are two huge flaws with it. The first flaw is that the item has to be 60 days old or older, but on the listing itself, there is nothing that tells you the age of that listing. So how do you figure out if a listing is old enough for you to use the copy listing feature and have that listing be considered a brand new listing? There are ways to do it. You can go into your inventory reports under seller tools and you can download that CSV and you can look up how many days an item was listed and what date it was listed. But that's a lot of work, and every day those numbers will change because every day those listings will get a little bit older. That seems like a lot of work to me. It's a lot of unnecessary steps. And that is one big complaint that I have about the copy listing feature on Poshmark, is that on the listing itself, they don't tell you whether or not by using that copy listing feature, if you're going to be able to create a brand new listing or if it's basically the same thing as what you already have. That's one of the reasons why I love Seller Insight, is because right on their dashboard, which is the first thing you see right when you open the app, they have a section of listings that are 60 days old or older. It's basically all of your listings in one area. And what Seller Insight has done is they have created a really wonderful workflow that helps you seamlessly go from Seller Insight to Poshmark and back to Seller Insight to relist your stale listings. So let's say you get to a listing though, and you're like, I don't really want to relist this one. What you could do is you could skip that listing and come back to it at a later date. This is where Seller Insight has made an addition or an improvement to their relisting workflow. And that's honestly one of the things that I love about Seller Insight, is that they're so responsive to the needs of their community. They really listen to everyone's feedback. And, whenever people make suggestions regarding things that they wish they could see happen in Seller Insight usually does. If it makes sense, if it's within their means, they will go ahead and put it in their next update. And I love that they're listening to us, the users of Seller Insight, to create a more robust tool that is actually going to be helpful for us when it comes to making more sales. So the addition that they've added to the relisting workflow is that if you do skip a listing, that listing will show up in a list. You'll see a section at the bottom of the relisting area of the dashboard that says skipped. And if you press on that, it'll pull up a list of all the items that you skipped so that you can go back to them at a later date. You don't have to try to remember in your brain which items did I skip because now I'm ready to relist them, but they'll go ahead and compile that list of items that you skipped in that area. Now, I promised you that I was going to close the gap between relisting on Seller Insight and utilizing Closet Clearout on Poshmark to make more sales. And in this little clip, I'm going to show you how. So how do you use Seller Insight to maximize your Closet Clearout efforts? This is how. If you look at the section that says relist items over 60 days, what will happen is Seller Insight will give you a list of all of the items that need to be relisted because they are more than 60 days old. In fact, you can see on the bottom right tile of this section, it says 447 available. So there are 447 items in my Poshmark closet that are older than 60 days that I could potentially relist. So why I would use Seller Insight on closet clear out days is I could go ahead and if I see this apostrophe cardigan, I could say, let's relist this. And what I would do is I would go to edit, but rather than copying the listing at the bottom left corner of the screen, which is what I would typically do if I wanted to relist it, instead of relisting it, what I could do is I could go to listing price. I could drop the price to whatever it is that I want to drop it to in order for likers to receive that Poshmark, shipping discount. And the way that I would do that is by dropping the price by at least 10% of the last lowest price that I've had this at. Or let's say I dropped the price to $12 before and then raised it back up to $15, but since then new people have liked it, then I can just drop the price to $12, and by doing so, only the people who have recently liked it since the last time that I dropped and raised the price will get the deal. But anyway, I can go ahead and change the price. I can go to next, list, and then what happens is I will go back to Seller Insight, and then what it'll say is, would you like to delete the original listing in Poshmark? No, because I didn't actually copy a listing. I didn't actually create a duplicate. I want to keep the original listing because I'm hoping that since I dropped the price on that original listing, someone's going to bite and buy the item. So I'm going to go ahead and say no. And what you'll notice Seller Insight does is it will just show that same listing again. And now what I'm going to do is press skip. Now, if you pay attention at the bottom left tile of this relist items over 60 days section, you'll notice it went from the number 19 skipped to the number 20 skipped. And the reason for that is because I have, over the course of however many days, skipped over 20 items when it comes to relisting. And if I want to see a list of what those items are, all I have to do is click on 20 and I will see all of the listings that I decided not to relist when they came up on the queue for items that need to be relisted. Why is this helpful? Because now what I can do is I can go from this list the next day or even the evening of closet clear out. Once the 6 hours has passed since I dropped the price, once I realize that people are not buying the item just because of the fact that I dropped the price, I can go back and I can relist this item. Because with the case of this apostrophe cardigan, it has been listed for 196 days. I did already drop the price to $12 and I had no takers. No one wanted to buy it at that price. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and relist it for real now so that it can kind of freshen up the listing. It is kind of favored within the Poshmark algorithm, and I'm just giving it another shot to sell. So now at this time, I'm going to go ahead and click relist. I'm going to go to edit. I'm going to scroll all the way down, and at the bottom left you can see where it says copy listing. Yes, I would like to copy the listing, and because I press that, it's going to copy my original listing title so that all I have to do here for their weird listing title that they've created with the word copy at the front and these periods at the end, all I have to do is select all and paste. So much easier and more efficient than having to take my cursor and delete the word copy or go in here and retype whatever was at the end of my original listing title. Seller Insight really thought of everything when they thought, you know what, we should just go ahead and copy their original listing title for them so that it's already there when they create their duplicate listing. So here is my listing title from before. I'm going to say done. And this one, since I don't have any tags, I'll go ahead and put in some tags. I'll say sequins, I'll say beaded, and I'll say, I'll just go ahead and say office. I think you could wear this in an office. And I'm going to go ahead and raise the price back up to $15. And if you're like, well, I don't even remember how much I had it priced at, because perhaps you don't only strictly drop the price by 10%. Perhaps, it depends on the item. That's personally how I do it. Sometimes I'm willing to drop the price a little bit more. Another thing that you could do if you want is you could go to the additional details, which are private at the bottom. And anywhere here, maybe at other info, you could just put the price that the item originally was when you go ahead and drop the price the first time. So if you're worried, well, I won't even know how much I dropped the price to, that would be a good spot to put your original price so that you know what to bring the price back up to. So I brought the price back up to 15. I'm going to press next. I'm going to list it. And now I have to delete the original listing, and when I go back to Seller Insight, it's going to say, would you like to delete the original listing in Poshmark? Yes, I would. All I have to do is press edit. I scroll down, I click delete listing, and then I will go back to Seller Insight. If you look at the top left corner underneath the time, it will say Seller Insight, and you can just click on that. And now it's going to show me with those 2 check marks, hey, that got relisted. And basically, if you go with this process, everything in your list of skipped listings is going to be stuff that you could go ahead and relist now because you already dropped the price of those items during closet clear out. You didn't have any bites, so now it's time to relist them. So I hope this makes you a little bit more excited about sending out offers to likers or about participating in the next closet clear out. And if you're not using Seller Insight yet, they do have a 2-week free trial period so that you can try it out, see all of their different features, dive into your Poshmark data and analytics to see what's really going on and, where your sales are coming from. I really do love not only the app, but also the creators behind it. I think that they are just so smart. And like I said, so responsive to the needs of the community. I'm very thankful that they reached out to me about partnering with them in this video. And I hope you were able to walk away with some helpful tips and tricks when it comes to making more money using offers to likers or closet clear out with the app Seller Insight. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. I'd love to help you out, especially if it comes to navigating the app because I have been using it for quite some time. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit that like button. And again, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, definitely consider doing that on the way out as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you make tons of sales in this coming week, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.